Jury nullification campaign, where we want people to know about what their jury rights are. Basically, what I like to say is that we believe that no victim equals no crime equals not guilty. So it will flyer about just a few prisoners who are in prison for our plan. There's many more. My father here, who died in federal custody, shackled to a hospital bed. He had a very, very neglectful, tormentful death. My mom, who just got out the Human-Solution.org. I'm a leader and a national coordinator for this group now. And you can visit this website, and we have stories of a lot of people who are in prison for a plan.
Thanks for watching our program tonight. It is the All Day Live show. I'm willpwilson, and we've been doing this as a community for our community, and it is a community, very strong cannabis-related issues that are involved with what we're doing as a people, as a community, to legalize it, to take it away from prohibition. There's a lot involved. Again, thank you for watching All Day Live. I hope you've enjoyed this program. I hope you enjoy more of them. Thank you.
In July. We want to show people what is going on.
Good to see you, John.
How you been?
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Got a statement for the world? Might as well.
Marijuana's legal. Not too many people disagree. People disagree on the function and the form.
Right.
Which is the bitch.
Yeah.
What's legal, what's not legal.
Yeah, but what's helping and what's not? You might as well have something. I'll be talking with you. You'll be talking more about it. Okay? Yeah, it's good to see you, John.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. That's going to be a big video's going to get people to talk about it. Good to see you again. Yeah. That's all. I didn't see you.
Say hi.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you too. How you doing?
Good, good.
Sweet, sweet.
What do you got to see?
Oh, I'm just really impressed tonight because the Seattlle Hempfest, they raised $1,600 for our prisoners, 200 lifelong prisoners who are prison for I'm really excited. I'm trying to remember people, no victim, no crime, not guilty at all times.
Really? Why don't you get back to me? You got my email on the show. We can call it. Here we are at the 420. We're about to have an interview on the Human-Solution. This should be interesting.
Yeah.
We could go over here. Let's get some light on you.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, right here with that door.
Okay.
And hold this up and then explain that.
Okay, hold on. I got a couple things I want to hold. This one still. And I'll have a journal. Okay.
And these are
flyers. This is a flyer for the Human-Solution, which is a group.
And you're going to be speaking on May 10th at this Cannabis Freedom March.
Yes,
Same
I am.
park this year?
Yes.
Yes.
I forget what park it starts
Let's go
at.
over here. Sweet. Got it.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Right here?
Yeah,
This way we're not for the garbage.
there you go.
Okay.
So,
So on May 10th, I'll be speaking at the Cannabis Freedom
right,
March.
right.
I will be speaking, one, about our group, the Human-Solution, who believes that nobody deserves to go to prison for our plant.
Yeah.
Right now we know of about 150 people who are in prison for our plant. 50 of them are serving life sentences.
Right.
So we're trying to save them. And one way to do that is to keep them from going to jail. So I will be there launching a campaign with Poppy and Kirsten from Fully Informed Jury Association. And we're going to kick off this campaign, a jury nullification campaign, where we want people to know about what their jury rights are. Basically, if you're ever called to jury duty and the government tells you you're there to judge if the law's been broken, that's not necessarily true. You're also there to judge if that law is a good law or bad law, and if it should be applied in a particular case. So you're also there to judge the law, and it's your right to be able to say not guilty if you think that the person should not go to jail. So what I like to say is that we believe that no victim equals no crime equals not guilty. So if we can do that at trials, we can end prohibition immediately. And right now in Washington, we have 9 people going to trial soon, and they could get in lots of trouble and spend up to 20 to 60 years in prison. This here is a little flyer about just a few prisoners who are in prison for our plant. There's many more. My father here, who died in federal custody, shackled to a hospital bed. He had a very, very neglectful, tormentful death. My mom, who just got out of prison, who wasn't even let out to say goodbye to my dad. And like a lot of these people could have been saved through jury nullification if they would have just known their rights.
They did finally let your mom out.
Yes, she got out. She was on an ankle monitor bracelet for a couple months, and then she's home now, but she's on probation for 4 years. She finished her whole sentence.
Can you bring her up to the studio for the next AllDayLive show?
I could, but she can't talk about the plant too much. She can't do any interviews or anything for it. Quite yet. She has like 6 months before she can do that, and then she can. Yeah, she's on a tight probation thing right now.
You're kidding. Can we talk about that for this coming up show?
Yes.
AllDayLive?
And what's really kind of weird is that when she goes in there to take her urinalysis test, it's a federal thing that says it's still federal law. So no, you cannot still have it, even though it's in the same state. The federal government still doesn't recognize it. So.
As far as what you've seen, now you've spoken all over the country, right? All over the United States?
Yes, I've even been out to D.C. advocating for Luke and Ricardo and a few of these other people who are serving mandatory minimum sentences. So I've actually fought for our mandatory minimum sentences for them to reduce them.
How have you seen the change of people's topics at these conferences? It's more than just law, meaning we're dealing with something that's, if we have a nuclear extinction event occurring at this time,
right?
How is it we're supposed to act like good little, law-abiding citizens while the planet is being contaminated?
Well, it's really confusing because when I advocate for our prisoners, a lot of people just don't know about them, and so they're like, "What? Somebody's in prison for life?" And it's really shocking to a lot of people. It's actually really shocking to us when we started revealing all the prisoners that are in there. And so it's actually heartbreaking when you find out, what they're serving time for and how they're living in there. Like my dad, who was ignored and neglected and tormented the whole 4 months he was in prison. So it's really kind of hard on the public when they find out, because our media doesn't tell that, and they don't tell that because our government controls our TV system. So. It's really hard for people to understand when they hear it.
So is there a database you can start working with, people can come to knowledge of in all the states and all the different things, so we can start finding out who all these people are that are under these unbelievable fascist laws?
Right now you can call, or you can go to the human-solution.org. I'm a leader and a national coordinator for this group now, and you can find out.
They can call you?
Yes, this is our Joe Grumbine's phone number. This isn't my phone number, but
Yeah.
he's the national leader, or he's a leader for the group as well. But you can visit this website, and we have stories of a lot of people who are in prison for a plant. And I'm actually launching a adopt a prisoner program, so I have all kinds of stories of people who are in desperate need of help. So if you want to adopt a prisoner, you can see me. I can hook you up, like these guys did tonight. Adopted James Romans, and
Right.
I actually
So
talked to
there's
him
these
this morning.
strategies to try to help these people and
Right.
get funding
Yes.
as far as raising money in defense of all these people across the United States. There's over how many hundreds of thousands?
Well, we know there's over 750 people in jail or prison for a plant right now, but there's like 150 that we're fighting for. They're serving outrageous time levels in there.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a whole bunch of little charges going around everywhere. Nobody
Yeah.
deserves to. I went out to Ocean Shores about a month ago. Me and the other coordinator for the Washington chapter here, and they have a woman there who's 80 years old who was leaving a dispensary with her medical card. And the police pulled her over and took her to jail for the whole entire weekend. And all she wanted me there to do was to talk to her minister at her church to let him know that she wasn't a bad person, you know, like, and she was dancing all around. The only thing that was wrong with her is that she was like hyperactive kind of, you know, but
Yeah.
that was great because she's 80 years old, but she was really upset that she even went to jail for a plant.
They put her in jail.
For a whole weekend, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I was so hurt by it.
What's her name?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I'll give it to you on Facebook.
Let's do a report.
It's Caroline. Or
Okay.
the lady I'm with here knows her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're noticing more and more people stepping out to speak, right? To talk about
Yes,
this. Are you
yes.
getting more help in speakers?
I think so.
Are ya?
I think we're getting a whole bunch more. Our group has just multiplied like a couple times in the last couple of months.
I could imagine.
So people are noticing. So as we
Yeah.
grow and grow and grow.
Yeah.
And then we have these solidarity ribbons that a lot of people are
Yeah.
starting to wear.
Yeah.
So people are recognizing, you know, when they see
Yeah.
these ribbons that it
Yeah.
means for a prisoner.
You made these by hand, right?
I made these ones by hand,
No
yes.
kidding.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're all handmade.
Well, yeah,
But
yeah.
we wear this in solidarity.
Tell
with
us,
prisoners.
explain it, describe it real quick. This means,
This ribbon we all wear. If you believe that nobody should go to jail for a plant, we wear this in solidarity,
Yeah.
which means that we all stand together until this is it, and we
Yeah.
all fight for our prisoners until it's over.
Yeah.
We believe that nobody deserves to go to jail for a plant, so this ribbon means a lot when we wear it.
now, they have let your mother in. How long was she in?
She was in for 2 years.
2 years.
Minus her good time. And they wouldn't even let her out. Like when my dad died,
Yeah.
they wouldn't even let her out to say goodbye to my dad. They accused her of just wanting to spend time with her daughter. They were married for 37 years.
Right.
So,
Now, weren't there other people arrested in that sweep that they did in Montana?
well, yeah, like my dad's business partner, Chris Williams,
Yeah.
he said, I'm not guilty. So he took his case to federal trial. And the jury didn't even know he was a caregiver
Yeah.
or how many people he helped because they don't allow state laws in federal court. So Chris's other business partners, there was 5 of them, and they actually testified against Chris Williams.
Yes.
So
That they denied your dad medical while he was in jail.
my dad he was sentenced to a medical facility. The judge sent him to a medical facility, and for some reason, he sat in general population in a private prison for 4 months, and they denied him all medical care at all. I mean, like, when he went into jail, he was on 28 medications. When he died, the autopsy said he was only on 3.
Yeah.
And so, like, when he died, he complained for help, and the nurses accused my dad of faking it. And so all night long, like, other people in prison had to take care of my dad and help him out and stuff. He had 8 broken ribs when he died, and when he broke those ribs, he didn't even get pain medicine or anything. His cause of death was undiagnosed colon cancer.
And he's a Vietnam veteran.
He's a Vietnam veteran. And when he died, he was still shackled to the hospital bed. They didn't even take the shackles off. He didn't even die a free man.
Really? Amazing.
And
Just amazing.
They lifted the covers up after I took him off life support so I could see him. And my heart was just gone. I wouldn't have taken him off life support until they removed the shackles.
Has anybody stepped forward to file a lawsuit?
I'm trying right now. I had Spence Law Firm
Yeah.
helping me, but
Jerry Spence?
yeah, but
I know him.
they're telling me that this case is really deep and there's about 5 different lawsuits and they've got too much going on.
Right.
So they made me Howard State. They've got all the medical records, but now they're sending them back to me and I have to find another attorney. So I only have a certain amount of time to be able to file one of the lawsuits. So I'm kind of struggling right now for time.
Here, let's get this. So you have tried, you've tried to find legal help. something about the circumstance of them murdering your father.
Right.
And so
We've got all the medical records from all the prisons except for Seattlle Federal Bureau of Prisons, where he has refused to release my dad. See, because the first time my dad went to jail, they arrested him. They gave him the wrong kind of medicine. This was in a just regular county jail. When he was first indicted, they gave him the wrong kind of medicine. The medicine went through his kidneys and it backed up his kidneys because he had kidney problems. It backed up in his kidneys and it caused him to get brain damage. And so ever since then he had dementia, or they said he had dementia, but dementia wasn't even in the autopsy report. So they said that's why he couldn't take his case to trial. But I think they did something much more to my dad because he was never right after that, and they forced him to plead out. And there was error in the courtroom that morning, and that's why he went to jail.
Interesting.
Yes. There's a lot of bad things.
They detained him for over a year and a half, denying him medical.
They detained him for the first 2 weeks, or first 10 days, and that's when he got out. This was when they gave him the medicine that backed up in his kidneys. When he got out, he went into a coma. Within 2 hours after he got out of jail, he went to a coma. And they had to airlift him from one place to the other place. And I thought at that point that when I came out there to see my dad, I thought he was waiting for me to get there to die. But when I got there, he came back to life. And when he came back to life, as soon as I got there, he came back to life. And then he's fought another 6 or 7 months. The federal government went to jail twice, and then the last time he went to jail is when they killed him after 4 months of incarceration.
Let me introduce you to Ron Gillman.
But the Seattlle Federal Bureau of Prisons right here is when he broke his first 5 ribs. And when he broke his first 5 ribs, they took, after a couple days, he just laid there screaming. They took, because he had osteoporosis, so when he hit the ground from his dementia, what they said was dementia, he'd break his ribs. So they took him in a couple rooms next to it, and the guards were poking at him to see if they were really broke and teasing him and stuff to make sure he wasn't having like a pill addiction, because they thought he was a pill popper or something. And when he was screaming and yelling, that's when they finally took him up 3 days later to get his ribs x-rayed. And that's the prison that won't give us the medical records.
Really?
Yes.
Let me get Ron.
Yes, there's a lot to the story than what I say on stage. There's so much deep levels to this story.
Let me get Ron.
One
of the medical cannabis dispensary growers and he's the son of Later. And they wouldn't want you to see him, right?
No, in fact, when I would try to apply to go see him, they would deny me. But when I applied to go see my mom, I could go see her, but not my dad. But when my dad, when he died, what had happened is he died on a Friday, and on the Thursday, Thursday he had the heart attack, so he laid in the hospital that whole night until the very next morning. And that morning, that's when the guards finally called, or that's when the U.S. Marshals finally called me and said that my dad was hooked up to life support and I needed to come out there. So they just let him lay there and suffer that whole time. So I rushed out there immediately, and as soon as I got out there, the doctors had told me that his body just wasn't going to take it anymore. And the 2 guards, they guarded us. They stood right in the room, and I had to take my dad off life support. When I took him off life support, I just walked out in the hospital, and I just realized, I could just walk away from this, or do I honor my dad and everything he's ever done for me and the patients he served, and just fight for it? And so that's why I haven't given up. I don't think that my dad can rest in peace until all our prisoners are freed, and so we haven't had a funeral for him or anything.
Did the VA step in to help at all?
No. In fact, my mom's applying for benefits now that she's out of jail for my dad's death, and that's about it. They supplied some medical records, and that's about it.
Really? They didn't do anything else? Jesus.
No.
Unbelievable.
No.
I mean,
he was a veteran.
Yeah, I'm veteran. That's why it's more involved. But see, nobody knew all this.
Right.
You didn't have anybody helping you report all this at the time.
Right.
Maybe I should have been there.
Carrie was.
Carrie?
But then we had kind of a falling out over some stupid stuff. So,
So, but this time let's use cameras and media.
Sounds good.
And then maybe it's going to be more. There's going to be other people going through what your father's going through, right?
Which we have some in Michigan. We have a lot of people suffering in prison for our plant right now. Eddie Leb. I've helped write a compassionate release letter for Eddie Leb. That's the thing. All of our people in jail, they're not letting him out. Not for appeals. Not for compassionate release. Not their sick ones. They're denying them all their options to get out. They're plant prisoners. They won't let them out. We have a lot of them.
Where is this in Michigan?
Michigan right now. In fact, I heard that in Michigan, 37 people or 33 people were just indicted on a federal level a couple weeks ago.
But they're all being denied everything.
Right.
I mean, this
all over
is
the place.
beyond belief.
Jerry Duvall, he's a double bypass, triple organ transplant recipient, and it's going to cost $1.2 million to take care of him per year. And he's in a medical facility. And at one point, his eye started hemorrhaging. He never saw a doctor until it was over. He just got his vision back, but for a month he didn't have any vision. And they never even let him see a doctor. This is happening all over in all our prisons. See, what happens is our private prisons, they make over $7 billion off of our prisoners every year because, see, the top 1%, more than that, the top 1% makes contracts with the private prisons. So in our drug work, we take our people and we filter them through the system, and they're forced to work for like less than 25 cents an hour. And that's called slave labor. So like people like my dad who are sick, who cannot work for them, they just kill them off and let them die. They don't have them put the money into a sick prisoner. And a lot of our plant prisoners are going to these prisons.
Yeah. Hey, Ron!
Well, it's not paying attention.
Ron! Come over here.
Is that their herbivores?
I think it might be.
I got to get a picture because he's wearing a ribbon.
Oh, that's right. I do want you to meet him.
Okay.
We have attorneys and lawyers.
Okay.
Targeted individuals.
Yeah.
In a way, what's going on is like they targeted your dad.
Right, because it's Montana, and you know in Montana right now, they're trying to get rid of all the laws completely. There's a senator or something there that's trying to get it to where you can't even drive through the state with it, not on a medical level or anything, because it's federally illegal. So we can't have that happen in one state, and then the state, 2 states over, and it's legal. So it's a war going on across the nation. We are literally in a war.
The Rockefeller.
In one way, yeah.
Doing whatever they want to.
Right.
And they've done whatever they want to.
They get away with murder. Plus some. And all of our prisoners who are in jail who have kids, like we also just launched a children's chapter for the Human-Solution.
Yeah. You lost it.
We launched a children's chapter.
Launched it.
A children's chapter.
What about that? Tell me about that.
Well, that's for our children who have parents who are in prison for our plan, or children who are taken by CPS and they lose their parents. And we had a case out in Spokane not too long ago with Beverly Fisher who got his daughter taken, and an 83-year-old man was taking care of her. So we have a chapter where our children can come to get some support.
I was just reading about that. There was a report on that.
Yeah, that's Billy Fisher. He actually spoke at the Moscow Hempfest as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been in any of the magazines?
Here and there. Not High Times put a thing up about my dad being a medical marijuana martyr. And then I've written a few little things up for different magazines here and there, but no major stories or anything like that.
That's needed now.
I do have a story I wrote and Chris Williams wrote, but I'm just trying to find the right person to put it out there, the right group.
You know, I write. I've got 3.5 million readers. So,
Sweet. I can get it to you. While he's in jail, he wrote his part of an article, and we combined it. We were going to have it put in Martin Dickerson's magazine, but his magazine crumbled all of a sudden, so the article's still sitting there.
By the way, we'll work with you on that.
Okay, cool.
It's time for that.
Yeah, he wrote it from prison. I was really excited about it. It's hard for our prisoners don't have much of a voice, and since I become an advocate, I've also became a voice for our prisoners because they're voiceless, so I speak for them.
So this is like the children's chapter. You need help in all states, not just like...
Right. We're a national group, and like we believe that we have to get a lot of attention put on the Human-Solution on a national level, and all the kids can be a part of it. Kids, even if they're not a victim of the drug war or of our plant war, any children who want to support other kids in this can be part of it.
Hey, Brian, would you get Ron over here real quick? Ron, this is Ron Gillman.
Hi.
She is...
Kristin, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing real well.
Her father was murdered in jail, and it was I've done several TV programs. Basically, they murdered her father in jail for growing cannabis in
Very traumatic.
Montana. And he's working right now to put a TI program in. They're using all these defense contractors, electronic weapons on us. And they're all victims of this. This is what Ron is putting together. Now, we have attorneys. She's looking for an attorney to go after what they did to her father.
Can you prove that?
Yeah, I've got Spence law firm. They got all my dad's medical records.
He didn't have any problems, did he?
Huh?
He just died of natural cause overnight?
No, they tormented him for 4 months. They shackled him to a hospital bed and he died. They didn't give him his medicine. He died of undiagnosed colon cancer, liver failure, kidney failure. He had 8 broken ribs when he died. He was sentenced to a medical facility. He was half dead when they sentenced him. He was sentenced to a medical facility, but he never made it. He sat isolation in a private prison for 4 months. He had dementia, so he'd walk back and forth, and he had osteoporosis, so he'd hit the ground and break his bones. The doctor and the nurses, they didn't give him pain medicine. And the nurses had accused him of faking it when he was growing cancer in his stomach. And my mom was in prison at the time, too. He had 2 major heart attacks when they were transporting him after 4 months, and I had to take him off life support while he was still shackled to the hospital.
Those were good.
I'm sure. Yeah. I think
I've had them. I've been put to death. I've died.
Well, I think they gave him some medicine the first time he went to jail to cause him to have this dementia, but dementia wasn't in his autopsy report. He got it the first time he went to jail. He got out and went immediately airlifted from one hospital to another hospital because he was in a coma from the medicine they gave him. That made him right. See, he was supposed to go to trial. And they didn't want him to go to trial because he was an old man who followed state laws. He was looking at 144 mandatory minimum sentence. And 1 hour before they raided 26 dispensaries in Montana, the government, or the state laws, they were voting to repeal the law. Well, my dad caught 5 of those. After my dad died, his partner took it to trial, and the other 2 partners testified against him. I don't know, you heard of the company Montana Cannabis or the movie Code of the West?
Yeah.
Code of the West features my dad's company.
I've done several shows with her.
Yeah.
Carrie and Phil.
I went on his TV show.
She's going to come back on in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And anyway,
How can I help her?
about lawyers. We need to find, like, with Sean Everett.
I had Stencil from helping me. Stencil for, they've got all my dad's medical records.
I have a lawyer. That probably, but it's in Montana, so you'd have to have a Montana license.
That's good.
No, you have to, no.
Oh, he would have to have a Montana license?
You have to be from that state, I believe. They might be able to, you know what?
This law firm is working on it, so that makes me wonder if you have to be or not.
You know what? I don't think that's true. I'm sorry, it might not be true.
But I've heard that too.
You have.
Yeah, I've heard both.
Well, you can practice Pro Hawk Beach here.
I've heard both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to connect the dots, because this is not right what they did to her dad.
Well, since my dad's died, I haven't just been giving up the fight. I fight for a prisoner for the national
I don't hope my
leader.
daughter would like to. I'm dying.
You what?
I'm dying. I'm being microwaved to death.
Okay. Oh, no.
This is what they're
My
doing.
right
This
foot
is
is
our,
growing.
Oh, no.
well, no, it's part of this psychotronic warfare thing. That's another thing.
Discovery Channel would take that money.
Wow.
And I probably, hopefully we'll be able to watch it. Next month I got to be in California to do a Super Soldier Mind Control Summit meeting. For 3 days I'll be on stage that's supposedly Skyped across the world because there's 55 million of us.
Wow. Nice.
People that usually have this don't know they have it. I have voices in my head.
So's my son.
Oh, really?
Don't put him on
17.
psychotics. Don't get him off him right now.
He's already on.
Wait, your son's being targeted too. Can you bring him up to the studio next?
You know
He's only
that?
17. He won't. He won't go.
Yeah, you're right.
You know
He's got social anxiety.
What does his voice say?
That he's stupid and stuff like
Can I
that.
talk to your son? Can I tell your son what's happening to make him so he doesn't succumb?
Yeah.
I'm different. Will was suffering in my house last night. This afternoon. I wasn't. I'm kind of different for some reason.
Right.
Okay? And I can tell your son that probably for him to cope, 891 people a day kill themselves in PGK. It's called Voice of Skull.
I know. I'm worried. I've been hearing about that.
Synthetictelepathy.com. You read it?
Uh-uh.
Okay, that's a good site to go to.
No, but without his medicine, he goes to the mental hospital.
God damn it. Don't get, honey, I got it.
And it happened 6 months after my dad died.
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we're going to work on the legal stuff. Put that,
Right.
Son is being subjected to psychotronic torture right now. Okay? And they're going to set him up. They're going
We're talking.
to get him into a hospital. They're going to get him on psychotics, which is a 20%. Your brain will go away. It's a frontal lobotomy and a pill.
Oh, wow.
Okay? I need to talk to him. Okay? I have 4 voices. 3 guys and 1 woman that works 24 hours a day.
Wow.
How amazing. So those are more voices.
Right.
There's 20 people a day that talk to me
Wow.
on 4 voices scales, okay? It's called Voice of Skull. 20 people a day. I get imminent demise all day long. You're dead. We're going to kill your kids. Jump off a bridge, that kind of shit.
I can explain the technology.
Okay, it was invented in 1958 by Dr. Alan Fye. 1958, this was invented. If they shoot anything from these assholes in the sky right there that you can't see, but I can, because I've learned to see it.
Right.
Okay? Anywhere I go, these are them. And I can show you video right now, UFOs, if you want to see it. But I'm not going to, you know, I have to carry around this shit. Because people come into my house, even when I'm asleep.
Let's work on getting that.
Okay.
I'm going to have Sean, email me, and then I'll have Sean contact you. So that's not good?
Okay.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
It's always good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
And in 2 weeks. Okay.
You're gonna have to remind me because I'm high right now.
I will. I will. But you've got to email me to remind you.
Okay, I will
I
too.
have your old email.
Okay.
I got
It's the same one then.
I've done 5 shows with you already.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna take
You're a
it.
chief civil lawyer.
He has all my information.
Oh, he does? Okay. I could get you,
She's going to be up at the studio.
I know a guy who's doing GM. But my case is too huge. I was told by a prosecutor in Snohomish, I'm the first person to win a case and use the voice of skull technology back then.
Right. Oh, okay. Good for you.
In America, I'm the first guy.
Good for you.
It does nothing though, right? You'll never read about it. I can help your kid. I can help him very much. He needs help because he's going to succumb. What they do is he might be targeted for like since 15. And how long has he heard the voice? How long has he told you?
Since he was to the hospital.
He's got a chip.
Well, that's what he told me. He thinks that.
I have an RFID right here. I took out 2 chips right here. That gave me smell and taste back. Yeah.
Yeah, he was accusing me of putting pieces in his head.
Right in his TMJ area. I know a guy that can find it. But we can't take it out.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna take a picture of he's wearing a ribbon. And he's on stage. It was so nice to meet you. I'm gonna talk to you soon.
Okay?
Thank you. I'm gonna talk to you soon. He has my information too. Thank you. Have a good night.
We love to close the company.
Still a long ways to go on the road to legalization. I haven't been up in Washington for a while, but I read about it, you know, and I find out and I hear about it, and I kind of know what's going on up here. And what a wild thing. We're working on it down in Oregon too. We've been working hard. It seems like we're trying to get a step forward. Babylon Systems there, to, you know, say, hey, wait a minute, you can't do that. What, you think you're going to do that? And you say, well, yeah, like we, passed the vote and we all wanted it. Well, yeah, but now you're going to have to run through some kind of rigmarole, red tape stuff, and there's a lot of that going on in the world. So, if I had a message for everybody here tonight, it would be hang in there, because it isn't going to be very long, and then we will get the prisoners out, because that's what it's really about. We've gathered money here tonight. That's what the whole reason for this was, right? To try to help out prisoners who are doing life in prison for marijuana, while we're out here living this. I hope it's not a lie. See what I'm saying? Because those people have to be let go. This is turning into a moral issue. If it's free, then it's free. And it's time to end all the BS about it. And so, but we all have to give them love, show them the way, because it ain't gonna be long now. It's irresistible, It's like we did it, Amazing. But remember, there's people in jail while we party. Always remember that, Until they're all free, we're not free. And so, we get together, we can make it right. And onward.
Drop the baggage, feel alright. Bad feelings, Lord knows, they just get one night tight. Rolls like a game, yes, it's time to go. Come on and garbage just right now and let the good times roll. All you gotta do in life is feel alright. Brothers and sisters, you just ain't got me right. All that crap. Then you come of age. There goes the time. You know what you gotta do. Jump off that garbage. So, drop the baggage. Feel alright. Bad feelings are the cause and just give you one night. Just right now, let the good times go. You've always been with me. In the shadows, watching silently. Nothing to fear now that I know. You're still with me wherever I go. Exercise our rights, and we'll put our nation best. We'll educate the youth, the student will rule the land. Just imagine our time, and it's time to make a stand. This is a losing battle, been going on for years. It keeps right off the wind, like the cold world in time. Prohibition and the light, you can throw it all in prison, but you'll never win a fight. It's a losing battle.
Hey, Will. This is your spokesman.
This is Woodstock, right?
This is your spokesman, Brian.
Yeah.
At
Spokesman.
Hempfest
Spokesman.
420.
Yes.
I mean, yes, but I don't know why you didn't know that.
This is a glass blower here.
Yeah.
And you need to check out some of his claims.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This is what it's doing for our
Yeah.
economy right here, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's putting people to work, you know? Making art.
Here, you hold it. Brian, you
out
hold it.
for 'em.
Let's see it.
No, you hold it out. Let me pull my camera out. And I use it as a flashlight. I can hold it. Yeah, I do this.
You make these.
Yeah, this is pieces of
How do they get a hold of you? Where can they find your work?
214-663-7605.
One more time.
214-663-7605.
And they can get, these are beautiful.
Thanks, man.
Wow. Look at,
You can look up high voltage glass on the internet.
wow. Look at that.
This is a little Sherlock I made, and I put this attachment that had all these little discs.
Yeah.
I put the sparkle color to draw the sparkle color for the arrows. And this one I made for the tool show. I was going to trade for a ticket, but I kept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is that one.
Aren't this incredible?
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
Again, what's your phone number?
Oh.
This is over at the Rainier Brewery. It's kind of towards the end of this event. It was a lot of fun. Glad we had some great music. And I'm Will P. Wilson. I hope you had a chance to listen to Kristin here on our show coming up. This is All Day Live. This is Easter 420 in Seattle. That's Seattle right up there. Let's see it. Look. Right over there. And they've turned this into a tremendous thing going on. And we're finding out there Hempfest now in Montana and Idaho. Olympia coming up. The Canada's Freedom March coming up May 10th here in Seattle. You're looking at the carnivores here just a few minutes ago. So these guys are legends. I'm Will P. Wilson, and thanks for watching this week. Hope we're doing some good here. All of us are working together trying to change the world. It takes a lot, but it takes all of us. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Vivian.
Well, as soon as he said it happened, I looked around and said, well, I'm flying over here. So I said, well, back to make care of that. Was that who was here?
Speaking one about our group, the Human Solution, who believes that nobody deserves to go to prison for our plant.
Yeah.
Right now we know of about 150 people who are in prison for our plant, and 50 of them are serving life sentences.
Right.
So we're trying to save them, and one way to do that is to keep them from going to jail. So I will be there launching a campaign with Poppy and Kirsten from Fully Informed Jury Association, and we're going to kick off this campaign, a jury nullification campaign, where we want people to know about what their jury rights are. Basically, if you're ever called to jury duty and the government tells you you're there to judge if the law's been broken, that's not necessarily true. You're also there to judge if that law is a good law or bad law, and if it should be applied in a particular case. So you're also there to judge the law, and it's your right to be able to say not guilty if you think that the person should not go to jail. So what I like to say is that we believe that no victim equals no crime equals not guilty. So if we can do that at trials, we can end prohibition immediately. And right now in Washington, we have 9 people going to trial soon, and they could get in lots of trouble and spend up to 20 to 60 years in prison. This here is a little flyer about just a few prisoners who are in prison for our plant. There's many more. My father here who died in federal custody. shackled to a hospital bed. He had a very, very neglectful, tormentful death. My mom, who just got out of prison, who wasn't even let out to say goodbye to my dad. And like a lot of these people could have been saved through jury nullification if they would have just known their rights.
They did finally let you know.
Yes, she got out. She was on an ankle monitor bracelet for a couple months, and then she's home now, but she's on probation for 4 years. She finished her whole sentence.
They say it's time to be focused on. So hold your body.